You know what's funny? People think silence means you've given up. They think you've thrown in the towel, that you're done for. They treat it like a victory, like they've won, like they've crushed you into dust. But what they don't realize is that your silence, oh, buddy, your silence is killing them slowly, one heartbeat at a time. See, you don't have to respond to every slap in the face. You don't need to scream or shout when they spit on your pride. No, that's where they expect you to break. They want the reaction. They need it. It feeds them, keeps their little delusions alive. They think they're important, that they matter, because you give them your energy. But here's the truth, and I'm gonna lay it out for you real slow so it sinks in. You stay silent, and you strip them of their power. You take away their ammunition. They stand there, screaming into the void. And what do they get back? Nothing. No echo. No validation. Just cold, hard emptiness. And that's what drives them mad. Silence? Silence, my friend, is a weapon sharper than any knife, deadlier than a bullet. And when they see you standing there, unshaken, unfazed, it haunts them. It festers inside them like a disease. People think they've broken you with their disrespect, but nah. You're just playing the long game. You're patient. You know the quiet is eating them alive. They're waiting for you to explode, to lash out, because that's how they'd react. But you know better. You've seen what happens when you pull back, when you let the silence do the talking. It's like setting a fire inside their head, and every second that passes, they burn a little more, until there's nothing left but ashes. Let me ask you this. Who's stronger? The man who rages, fists clenched, teeth grinding, screaming at the world, or the man who stands in the storm, quiet, watching, knowing? It's the second one, always. That silence is strength, it's control, and control, oh, baby, control is everything. They're expecting you to fall. They want you to crack. They want that show, because that's all they understand. Noise, chaos, mess. But you don't give it to them. You don't give them a damn thing. You let them sit with their own noise. And that's when the fear sets in. That's when they realize they don't matter. Not to you. Not anymore. That's when they start questioning themselves, doubting every word they ever said, every look they ever gave. Your silence becomes their prison. And here's the kicker. The more you stay silent, the more they panic. They start thinking, what's he planning? What's he waiting for? They'll lose sleep over it. They'll talk themselves in circles, wondering when you'll strike back, how you'll do it. But you just sit there, calm as a midnight breeze, because you know the truth. The truth is, you don't have to lift a finger. They're destroying themselves with every second they wait for you to react. That's the punchline. That's the joke. Look, kid, I know it hurts. I know it cuts deep when people who should have your back turn on you, when they disrespect you, when they make you feel like you're nothing. But I'm telling you right now, your power lies in that silence. Don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you bleed. They want that. They thrive on it. They want you to scream and shout because it makes them feel like they matter. But you let them choke on their own words. You let them stew in their own poison. They'll twist themselves into knots, trying to figure you out, trying to get a reaction. And every time you don't give it to them, you're winning. Quietly, slowly. You're winning the war they don't even realize they're losing. And here's the real beauty of it. You don't just walk away. No, you stay right there. You let them feel your presence. You let them see that you're not running. You're not hiding. You're just there, watching, waiting. And that's the scariest part for them, because they know deep down that silence, that means you're still in control. You're still the one calling the shots, even if they can't hear you saying a damn thing. So, when they disrespect you, when they spit in your face, you don't need to fight back with fists or words. You just smile. You let them wonder. You let them drive themselves crazy. Because silence is the loudest thing they'll ever hear. And trust me, buddy, it's killing them. One moment at a time. You ever notice how the world loves to scream? It's like everyone's got something to prove. Like their voices alone will somehow make them bigger, stronger, more important. They shout over each other, desperate to be heard, to feel like they matter, like their little opinions and insults actually mean something. But all that noise, it's just a distraction. A bunch of hollow words thrown around like confetti at a funeral. Now you don't have to join that circus. You're better than that. You let them throw their little tantrums. Let them spew their insults, their disrespect. Because at the end of the day, they're showing you exactly who they are. And you've got the upper hand. You've got the one thing they'll never have: control. Control over your own emotions. Control over your reactions. And control over how their words affect you. Which is to say, they don't. Not really. Not if you don't let them. See, silence isn't weakness. No, my friend. Silence is a calculated choice. It's like a slow drip of poison seeping into their minds, eating away at their sense of superiority. It tells them, without saying a word, that they aren't worth your breath. They're not worth your time, your energy. That eats them up. Oh, how it eats them up. Because people like that, the disrespectful ones, they thrive on attention. They live for it. It's like air to them. And when you deprive them of it, when you leave them gasping, choking on their own need for validation, you might as well be watching them suffocate in slow motion. And don't get me wrong, There'll be days when you want to snap, when you want to scream back, throw punches, get even. But that's the trap. That's where they win. The moment you give them that reaction, they own you. They've pulled you down to their level, where all that matters is who can shout the loudest, who can hit the hardest. But you're better than that. You're smarter than that. You're playing the long game. Because here's the thing, your silence is louder than any scream you could ever make. It's deafening. It makes them squirm. It makes them question themselves. Makes them wonder why they don't get a rise out of you. And that's where the power lies. Not in what you say, but in what you don't say. They'll walk around thinking they've won, thinking they've beaten you into submission. But you and I both know that's not the case. What they don't realize is that you're standing right behind them, watching, waiting. And when the time is right, when they've gotten comfortable, that's when you make your move. Not with words, not with anger, but with precision, with control. You've got to understand something about people. They fear what they don't understand. And silence drives them insane because they can't figure it out. They can't decipher what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're planning. That uncertainty, that fear of the unknown, it eats them alive. Think about it. How many times have you seen people self-destruct simply because they couldn't handle being ignored? How many times have you watched them unravel, tearing themselves apart, all because you didn't give them the satisfaction of a response? That's your power, right there. Your silence forces them to confront their own insecurities, their own weaknesses. It forces them to sit with the discomfort of their own reflection. And trust me, most people can't handle that. They spend their entire lives running from themselves, hiding behind their words, their bravado, their insults. But when you don't play into that, when you just stand there silent, unbothered, they have nowhere to run. They're left with nothing but themselves. And that's the cruelest punishment of all. You're not weak for staying silent. No, you're not a coward. You're a ticking time bomb and they don't even know it. Every second you don't react, every moment you stay quiet, the tension builds. It coils tighter and tighter around their little minds until, eventually, it snaps. And when it does, when it does, they'll be the ones who crumble. They'll be the ones who lose. And you'll still be standing there calm, collected, untouched. They disrespected you, sure. They thought they had you figured out, thought they could knock you down a peg. But all they did was show you their hand. And you didn't show them a damn thing. That's your real strength. The less they know, the less they understand, the more control you have. And control, my friend, is everything in this world. You see, when you're silent after the disrespect, it's like planting a seed in their mind. At first it's small, almost unnoticeable, but over time it grows, it festers, it spreads like a disease, infecting their thoughts, their actions, and the more they think about it, the worse it gets. It consumes them. They start to wonder, start to fear. Why didn't he react? What's he planning? What's he gonna do? And that fear, that's the real payback. That's where you win. Because by the time they realize what's happening, it's too late. They've already destroyed themselves. So, yeah, let them disrespect you. Let them talk. Let them think they've got you figured out. And then you hit them with the one thing they never saw coming. Silence. Cold. Dead. Silence. You see, when you don't react, you're telling them that they don't matter. Their insults, their jabs, their little games, they're nothing. And people, oh, they hate that. They hate being made to feel small, insignificant. They need to feel important. They need to feel like their words cut deep, like they've left a mark. But when you don't even flinch, when you don't give them a single reaction, that's when they start to break. That's when they realize they're playing a game they can't win. Every second you stay silent, you're tightening the noose around their ego. You're suffocating them with the weight of their own words. And it's beautiful, really, watching them unravel. Watching them scramble for some kind of response from you, some kind of sign that they got to you, but it never comes. And the longer you stay silent, the more desperate they become. They'll start talking louder, start trying harder to provoke you. They'll push and push, but you just stand there, unmoved, unshaken, because you know the truth. You know that their words are hollow, that they hold no power over you, and that drives them insane. They'll start to wonder, am I invisible to him? Did I miss? What's wrong with me? And that doubt, that self-doubt, that's the crack in their armor. That's where it all starts to fall apart. Once they start questioning themselves, it's over. They've lost. They just don't know it yet. You're not giving them the reaction they crave. You're not giving them any reaction at all. And that's what eats at them. That's what keeps them up at night. They disrespected you, and now they have to live with the fact that you didn't even care enough to respond. You didn't even care enough to acknowledge their existence. And here's the thing. People don't like to be forgotten. They don't like to be ignored. It makes them feel like they don't matter, like they're nothing. And that, my friend, is the greatest insult of all. You see, they can disrespect you all they want. They can throw their little words around like knives, hoping to cut you down. But when you stay silent, when you don't even flinch, you're showing them that they're beneath you, that their words, their actions are insignificant. And that's what kills them. That's what eats them alive. Because deep down, people want to feel powerful. They want to feel like they have control, like they can bend others to their will. But when you don't play into that, when you don't give them what they want, you strip them of that power. You take it away. And what are they left with? Nothing. Just the cold, empty realization that they never had any control over you in the first place. And here's the kicker. You're not just ignoring them. You're not just walking away. You're making a choice, a deliberate, calculated choice to stay silent. And that's what makes it so powerful. It's not weakness. It's not cowardice. It's strategy. It's control. You're playing the long game, and they don't even realize it. Oh, they'll try to convince themselves that they've won. They'll tell themselves that they got the last word, that they put you in your place. But deep down, they know the truth. They know that your silence is a threat. They know that it's only a matter of time before it all comes crashing down around them. And that fear, that dread, that's the real revenge. Because here's the thing. They expected a fight. They expected you to get angry, to lash out, to try and defend yourself. But you didn't. You didn't even raise a hand. And that terrifies them. Because now they're left wondering, what's he going to do? What's he planning? And that's the genius of it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to lift a finger. They're already destroying themselves. Every second they spend worrying about your silence, every minute they spend trying to figure you out, they're digging their own grave. And you're just watching, waiting. They'll fall apart. They always do. People like that. People who thrive on disrespect. They can't handle the weight of their own insecurities. They can't handle being ignored. They need the chaos. They need the noise. And when you deny them that, when you stay silent, they implode. It's just a matter of time. You don't need to scream to make a point. You don't need to fight to win a war. Sometimes, the deadliest weapon is silence. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. Because in that nothing, in that quiet, you're sending a message louder than any words could ever say. You're telling them that they don't matter. You're telling them that their disrespect is beneath you, that their words hold no weight. And that's what kills them. That's what drives them mad. So the next time they come at you, the next time they try to knock you down, remember this: your silence is their undoing. Your silence is what will haunt them. Your silence is what will break them. And when they finally crumble, when they finally fall apart under the weight of their own insecurities, you'll be standing there, quiet, still, untouched. Because you didn't need to fight back. You didn't need to scream. You didn't need to do anything at all. Your silence did all the talking for you.